Hello, this is Klaus Tondering, and this is a brief demonstration of how you create exercises in Bible Online Learner. In order to do that, you must be logged into the system with an account that has facilitator privileges or teacher privileges. If you have that, you can go into the administration menu and select Manage Exercises. Here we have a list of all the top folders of the exercise file hierarchy. For this demonstration, I will create a new folder. So I select Create Folder, and let's give the name Demo. Okay. We now have that folder here. I click on the folder, and the first thing I must do is to edit its visibility. This controls who can actually see the exercises in this folder. I have here a list of all the classes that exist in the system. I can select one or more of these, or I can make the folder visible to everybody, and this is what I want to do now. So at the top here, I click where it says, click here if folder is visible to everybody. Thus, I scroll down to the bottom and click OK. I'm now ready to create an exercise, so I click Create Exercise. This brings up a list of the databases, the MDROS databases available on the system. I have Hebrew, I have transliterated Hebrew, and I have Greek. I select Hebrew and click OK. What I want to do here is to create an exercise that asks students about Hebrew verbs and request that they provide the stem and the tense of different verbs. So the first page here, I write a description of the quiz. Please provide the stem and tense of these verbs, like this. I'm creating the exercise now, and at the top of this window we have 5 tabs. The description tab is a piece of text that will be displayed to the user when they take the test. The next tab is a passages tab. Here I indicate what parts of the Bible should be used to generate the sentences for the quiz, for the exercise. This could be everything or anything. I select Genesis. I move on to sentences. In this tab, I specify how the system should find sentences for the quiz. At the top here, where it says word no retrieve, we actually have an MQL statement, a statement that retrieves information from the MDROS database. I can build this manually if I click this radio button here, or I can use the friendly feature selector, which is what I'll do now. I have a drop-down box here where it says Word. This selects, or rather this specifies, the type of object that is the subject of the exercise. So it could be word, it could be phrase, it could be clause. In this case, I want to make an exercise about words, so I just leave this at word. Here I can specify how the interesting words should be chosen. I want verbs. I have here a drop-down list of all the different features of the words in the database. Part of speech can be any of these values, so I select verb. As I clicked verb, you will see up here that the MQL statement changed to reflect the changes I've made down here. So I now have, I've specified that I want part of speech to be a verb. Let's make it a bit more complicated. Most verbs in Hebrew are of the stem kel. So in order to not make the exercise too easy, I will omit all verbs of the stem kel. So I select here the stem, Here we have a list of all the stems in the system. I select different from and click cal. I have now specified that I want verbs that are not cal. What I have done here is to specify how the system chooses the sentences for the exercise. That is, it will find sentences that contain verbs that are not cal. I can also optionally specify another set of criteria for selecting the words inside the sentence. This is the sentence units. So if I remove this, also use this for sentence unit selection, a sentence units tab becomes enabled here, and using this I can specify within the sentences how do you want to select the verbs, or rather the words for the question. But in most cases the rules here are the same as for selecting sentences, so I just leave this checked. Finally, I move into the features list here, where I say what do I want to show to the user and what do I want the user to provide. I want to show the actual text of the verb in question, and I want the user to provide the stem and the tense, like this. I click save, give the exercise a name, let's say stem and tense, and we save this. And that's it. I now have an exercise here called stem and tense. I can edit it here if I want to change it. Or I could go into text and exercises, click exercises to actually run this exercise I just created. This is the view that a student of Hebrew will see. We can go to the demo folder and we can select stem and exercise. How many questions do I want? 5, 10, 25? Let's just say 5 here. I click the 5 and the exercise is now running. It says, please provide the stem and tense for these verbs. This was the description I gave. It has selected a sentence here from Genesis 32:5 and asks me to provide the stem and tense of the verb here, yetzav. I do not understand Hebrew, so I'll just make a random guess here. Let's say this is hifil and it's vayiktul. I can check the answer. Well, vayiktul was correct, hifil was not. I can click show answer. It's pil. I can move on to the next question and so on through the entire test. Thank you.